I knew I didn't want to go to college, man. I knew it was such a scam. I just knew that I didn't want to work for someone. I hated it. Every single day I would go home, I would just be so angry, and they all looked at me with a blank face and literally thought I was doing something illegal because they didn't understand what I was doing. Finally comes out, I run out, go ask him, what separates you from everyone else to allow you to afford this exact car? And he looked at me, took a pretty deep breath, he smirked, he's like,
Creator Pass podcast finally back in action. It has been a long hiatus. I'm here with Torsten Roscoe, someone I've been working with for quite a while. He spent the week out here in Tampa.
very long
now.
time.
And yeah, coming up on a year total work time. Really cool. Well, dude, I kind of wanted to just talk about maybe a little bit of get to know you first and foremost, and then we could just talk about some creator shit. So the people that don't know, that are watching right now, like, who's Torsten Roscoe? Kind of what do you do? Because you're in a very similar field as me, and I think it's really cool to shine the light on creatives that are full-time and how they're able to go full-time, because I know there's a lot of people out there watching that like would love to either create full-time or not do exactly what they want. It seems like at a young age, 21, you've kind of paved the way for you, and you're slowly but quickly getting there.
My name is Thorsten Roscoe, and I sell digital assets. I actually learned everything from this guy, so props to him. And I sell video editing assets to short form content creators to help them just speed up their workflow and pretty much cut their time in half or even more than that. If I had to give one piece of advice from like someone just starting out, would just be just do it, man. Become the producer instead of the consumer. Because when I first started out, like, that's all I did was consume. And I thought that by me not doing the thing that I was actually consuming, I was just doing nothing.
It's a hard one, though.
It is.
Because there's so much content tricked as being, like, productive. Like, you get, like, you trap your mind. You're like, oh, dude, I'm doing something productive by watching this. And to some extent, there's some content out there.
Oh, 100%.
But a lot of the times, you know, if you allow it to only consume that and never act on the motivation that you're getting from the content, you just go down this rabbit hole of just being a consumer. Like, that's why it's so addicting to listen to, like, David Goggins, Andrew Tate, all these, like, huge influencers that are just like, get your ass up. Yeah. You, like, indirectly feel like you're getting shit done. Yeah, but you're watching. In reality, you're not doing shit. Yeah. The reason I create content is to help and provide value to people, but I hope that they watch it and then actually take action after, because otherwise, I'm not really doing my job. Yeah, exactly. I think the definition of learning, though, is doing something different. Yeah. So like you have the same environment, but you act in a different way. That's like a Hormozy thing, huh? It is a Hormozy thing. I didn't say it exactly how he said it. He explains it all better than me, but that's the whole concept. Is just if you get the same thing, do something different, and you by definition you learned. Yeah, you change your actions based on the inputs or whatever. So that's something that, just to let everyone know, like, you kind of do what, YouTube and Instagram, that's full time for just Okay. So I do majority of my source of audience is on YouTube, but recently actually my Instagram has been blowing up because of ads and just original content that I've been generating and figuring out like ways to actually pull a ton of views. And I've been getting a lot of content strategies lately that are proven to just crank me views even if I don't put a lot of effort into it. And is that something you feel like you've understood for a while now, or are you like kind of slowly starting to figure it out? Bro, I'm learning just as everyone else. I think you find something that works and then just stick to it, reproduce it, try to make it better, and then eventually it'll either pop off, you kill it, try something new, just constantly just trying to do new things, and I think you'll win no matter what if you just never give up too. To give people context, right? Like, so your primary source of income doesn't necessarily come from YouTube or Instagram, even though that's like where your audience is. It's from digital products. Yeah. And it's like, to also give people context, I think, could you maybe run down like your journey a little bit, like the progression of that? There's so many places to start, to be completely honest with you. Like, where was that first taste of like getting into creating something? I think I kind of just grew up with it, to be completely honest. Like, I was the kid that like bought a GoPro, or got a GoPro when I was really young, and I would just like record myself like jumping in the pool and like recording me going hunting with my family. I was always just like a creator. Yeah, you just always had a camera.
Yeah,
Just
kind of always had a camera. I wasn't like the greatest with it. I just like to hit the record button. I didn't know how to do any of the aperture or ISO and everything like that. I was pretty much a creator and an entrepreneur. Like I used to sell rubber bands. I would sell rings, dude. I'd sell everything.
Really?
Yeah. If I could look at that thing and say, I can make money off of it, I would try it.
No, it's crazy. I honestly did a very similar things. Like I would record myself in me riding my bikes, me playing video games, me just doing like a room tour of my silly kid bedroom, like, you know what I mean? But I would always just try to document and create. And I think similarly, try to sell stuff. Early on, a lot of it was like, I remember I had one story, like I would draw these comic books in like 3rd grade, and then I would like trade or sell people the comic books in exchange for like pencils. Yeah. And I had this really like, it was this green translucent hard shell pencil case. And it's big. It's like this big, like this wide, and it was just full with pencils, because all I would do, I would just grind making these comic books, and then I would get like these like exclusive feeling pencils, like they would all be different. It was so cool to me. And I was like 3rd grade rich with like all these pencils, and I just never used them. I just like had a surplus.
Dude, you were pimping.
But dude, I think we live in a really cool time where those two interests as kids are just so transferable to the real world now.
Oh, 100%.
Like the documentation and like the early entrepreneur.
Everyone wants to become an entrepreneur now.
Trying to sell stuff. Yeah. And it's so weird how the world's shifted in a way where I feel like my hobbies, or like the things I just was naturally pulled to, like go to the perfect career.
Oh, 100%.
So you were recording yourself fishing and in the pool and just doing stuff with your GoPro. Did that continue on throughout the rest of your life, or like was there a period where you kind of gave up creating, or what does that kind of look like?
I think it was only when I was like a little child is that when I kind of really had like the whole spark of creativity, and then I kind of just was so addicted to video games. Yeah. But I would also stream myself playing video games, but I mean, I didn't pull any views.
But you're creating to some extent.
Yeah, like exactly.
You're documenting it and making videos about it.
I always thought that if I'm going to do something, I might as well like show other people how to do it and teach, or just try to pull something and make something out of something I'm doing.
Like try to like make a job or some kind of money or something off what you're doing. Yeah, dude, that's a powerful thing. I've always tried the same thing. Like whenever I was in, like when I would play Call of Duty and like do like trick shots and stuff, I would always be the graphic designer or the video editor on like the Call of Duty team. So like every once in a while I get like $5.
Those guys are insane.
Like $5 PayPal. I'm rich. I think that's something that some people get so right and some people get so wrong. And I don't know where it is, like where it comes from, but the trying to make money off what you're naturally attracted to versus feeling like you have to go get a job. Because my whole path was kind of like I went to go ahead and go to college. Like I kind of got convinced to go to college for a year. Yeah. And it was like computer science, and great job. Like I was actually really good at it. Like I was probably going to get a job, but I could just feel myself, like my soul, like kind of dying day by day. Cause I'm like, this is not what I like. I didn't realize it at the moment, but as soon as I dropped out of college and started picking up the camera again, I like felt like that life force come back.
Oh yeah.
It's sad to see sometimes, you know, early on you're like told to go after the paycheck because like that's what's stability, and like that's how you like make income and live and have a good life and stuff. But I think now more than ever, there's so many opportunities to just do exactly what you want to do.
Oh, 100%.
And make money.
Everyone wants to become an entrepreneur, creative, a creator. Like no one really wants to get a job anymore because they know that in reality, you're not going to live the dream life that you actually want. You're not going to become free. You're not going to have time freedom, financial freedom, unless you have a super good job. And even then, like if you're fine with working for people, it's totally fine. Go do that. Yeah. I'm going to go do my thing and not have to worry about that.
So you were creating a bunch as a kid. Then like high school came, you graduated high school, and then you ended up.
I knew I didn't want to go to college, man. I knew it was such a scam. I just knew that I didn't want to work for someone. I hated it. I just, every single day I would go home, I would just be so angry because I didn't know how to control my emotions. I knew the one thing I didn't want in life was to work for someone that was like overweight and I didn't respect forever. And so that just like pissed me off so much. I used that to like go to the gym and like really trying to figure out a different way to live the dream life just like this.
Yeah. So after high school, what was that path then? Like what did you do after high school? So you didn't go to college. Yeah. You had to do something, right?
I worked for a company called Fleet Farm. Okay. And Fleet Farm is just like a big farm essentials like store that like had like automotive, farming equipment, hunting and stuff. So kind of like met with my personality, but not at the same time. Yeah. And I just worked as a forklift driver there. So I was driving a little forklift, helping old ladies outside with getting crates and stuff like that. And man, it was a shitty job. Yeah. I hated it.
From creating to like totally not being creative at all.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird shift, isn't it?
And then during that process, were you doing anything creatively, or during that period where you kind of like...
For a little bit, I wasn't really doing anything. I was just trying to figure out like what I wanted to do. And that's kind of like where I got into that learning habit that we kind of discussed earlier, where I would just consume, feel like I was actually getting something done, but in reality, I wasn't doing anything. I eventually started to get into content creation. And then I found you on a podcast with Crispy Said. Shout out that man. I love that guy.
Amazing.
And
you have him on the Creator Pass podcast.
Yeah, you did.
Creator Pass. So if you haven't seen it after
last episode, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe actually.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out after this. So like, was there a tipping point like where you felt like you were doing the things you were kind of supposed to, go to school, get a job after? Like there was obviously you were speaking a lot about like frustration and was there like a moment where you're like, I just need to just go all in, or was it like a slow gradual just like kind of like learning about stuff and then just finding the right people?
I think there was a moment, so I'll tell you a quick story time.
Listen up.
So every single day I would get off of doing my 9-to-5 job that I hated. I would go home and just be so frustrated. Like I wasn't even tired, I wasn't annoyed. I was just so angry because I saw all these rich people that would drive down the highway as I was helping old ladies complain about get it like this and put it in there and redo a 50-pound bag that I had to pick up like 80 times. And so I'd see those just expensive cars just drive down the highway, just flooring it. You could hear them, and that just angered me so much because I'm like, why am I sitting here helping an old ass lady that isn't even grateful for me helping her, making $1,400 a month.
Yeah.
And these people are spending like $100,000 on a brand new Corvette like it was nothing.
Yeah.
So one day after I did my whole routine, just getting mad, I saw a Corvette parked in front of a business. I'm like, okay, this is the day. I need to figure out what separates this guy from like all other people. So I go up, pull up there, sit there for like 5 minutes, like anxiously waiting. Finally comes out. I run out. Go ask him, what separates you from everyone else to allow you to afford this exact car? And he looked at me, took a pretty deep breath. He smirked. He giggled a little bit. He's like, I'm just a normal guy. He got in his Corvette and he just drove right off.
Bro.
I'm like, wow, a normal guy.
That guy's a G.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. He's just straight up G.
But that's what it is though. I think it's really easy to go online and see all these like people doing exactly what you probably want to be doing or whatever. And you're like, you know, they know someone I don't, or they, you know, have money and I don't, or whatever reason that you can't do it. The more I surround myself with people that are going full time and have business and stuff, it's like, these are just
normal people,
ass people, like completely normal,
yep.
Like literally nothing different than you. I just think it's so important to fully grasp that concept, because if you're trying to go all in, like I think now is the time to do it. Like it's
100%.
It's more easy now than ever to grow a personal brand and start creating content and attract an audience and make money whatever way it is. You know, I'm obviously a huge fan of digital products. I think it's changed my life and changed a lot of the Creator Pass members' lives and a lot of my friends' lives.
Oh, it's completely changed my life.
But I think there's also so many other ways to do it. And it's
100%.
It's only easier right now than ever. So, you know, whatever way it is for you, whatever ways you're getting pulled to, it's like, go after that, dude.
100%.
It's really eye-opening. You know, I've been simplifying my computer camera gear setup recently. And I'm like, dude, all I need to have a successful business nowadays is like a laptop, which is like, my laptop right now is 5 years old. Like, it's not anything crazy. It's a good laptop, but like, it's not like the best laptop out there. It's not I need that. And like, I kind of need my camera, but like, honestly, I could do with an iPhone.
I was about to say, in reality, you could really do everything with your phone.
I like cinematic stuff. So like, I'll get the expensive camera, but like to get started, like if you're listening right now, like, dude, you have an iPhone and that's realistically all you need.
Oh, 100%.
For my business, I really like having a laptop and a camera.
Yeah,
I think it's helpful. It makes it easier, but like, that's no reason to not start if you don't have that. It's more about learning the process of going into whatever niche you want to go. But I think now more than ever, regardless of what you're doing, regardless of whose advice you take online, I think personal brand's number one.
Oh, 100%.
Because you'll hear all the people that are like trying to tell you to do different avenues. And it's like, okay, even if their thing doesn't align with personal brand, it's like, guess what they have? And guess how they're making the money? It's personal brand.
Yeah.
So huge part of digital products for me is like, you need the personal brand and the digital products.
Oh,
I think those
100%.
two things are imperative.
I guarantee you, I mean, there's a lot of people that sell the exact same thing as me. Like me and Chris we pretty much sell the same thing.
Yeah, you guys are
But
similar.
some people buy my stuff just as much as they buy his, just because of me as a personal being and him as his own personal.
Yeah, that's one thing I hear a lot of people, like, they ask, yo, Brian, like, how do I get started with like making content or selling digital products and stuff? And it's, you know, they're like, I really want to do this, but
There's always a but, man.
There's so many people that are doing it. Like, is it oversaturated? It's like, well, there might be more people now doing it than there was, but like,
I think they're just not scared enough.
Yeah, what you discussed was like the uniqueness. Even if you have the exact same product or whatever, like your content versus Chris's, like people are going to resonate with you versus someone else. Like it's always going to be like,
yeah.
And you know, think about, like, I always use the fitness industry because there's so many fitness influencers. It's so saturated, but everyone has like their own little piece of the internet, because you might relate with this guy because he's more chill, or you might relate with this guy because he, you know, was super overweight at one point. Yeah. Like, so you will always
have
do
your
the best
own
job speaking to someone like you.
Yeah.
So if you're just like the real version of yourself on the internet, you're going to attract so many people that are similar to you, and you'll never have to worry about literally money or anything.
I think one of the reasons why I was so like obsessed with kind of digital products is because I was more scared of not actually becoming the man I wanted to be, and like actually figuring out something that I didn't hate, and actually doing everything what everyone else is doing. I hated that more than going over here.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I think the whole like online content, personal brand, selling some kind of product, digital product space is like, it's simple, but it's like also very like, there's so many different elements of things you have to master to be really good at it. And I think the coolest thing about that is to be really good at content and to be successful in the online space, you're kind of forced to work on yourself. And there's not many other jobs that are like that. And you just like, you even just saying like not being, you know, scared to become the man you were or you wanted to become. I think that's like, so like entrepreneurship and content have forced me to do self-development and self-improvement so much, like not even really consciously. Like it's just allowed me to like just learn so much about myself and learn new skills and be able to be social, to talk on podcasts and stuff. Like there's so many skills that come with it that it can feel really, really overwhelming at first. And, you know, there's probably plenty of people in the audience right now. They're like, dang, like this stuff sounds really cool, but like, I don't know how to do X, Y, and Z. It's like, what, I don't know. Was there anything that like helped you kind of just jump in? Cause I know you're like, I was so scared of not becoming the person that I just had to go in. But like at the beginning, it's like, you're jumping into this ocean of like so many unknowns. Like, is there anything that helped you kind of like just take that leap of faith?
I think if you get a mentor or get some kind of direction that you kind of want to go, or like a very clear path, that's what I think really helped me. Like when I found you, that's really what like led me in the direction. Because if you don't have a mentor, I think you're just gonna waste so much time.
And even that, like if people can't, you know, get access to it or afford it, like I think kind of what
you're
you're
not
saying
committed enough, to be completely honest. And it's the sad truth, but you can figure it out. It's going to take a lot longer unless you're like a superhuman or you're Elon Musk, or you're like a fast learner. But even then, just get a mentor, man. That's what I think.
I mean, I think what it really does is hold you accountable, because I think a lot of creators and entrepreneurs and people that like thinking big picture, they have an idea and they're like, oh, I'm gonna go after this one thing. I'm gonna do drop shipping, and then I'm gonna do, oh wait, no, that's
exactly
cool.
what
UGC sounds cool, and then like, you know, hop all over. And I think committing to either one path or having a mentor or, you know, following one person or something can kind of eliminate and kind of put on those blinders for like the shiny object syndrome,
and commit to make it work,
because it all works.
Everything works. There's a million ways to make $1 million.
Yes.
Everything works. You just have to commit to it for a long enough time to make it work.
Dude, it's so true.
If you refuse to give up, you will never lose.
That's very valid advice. And I think to add on to that, because that's true, because if you don't give up, you can't fail and you'll be successful. You should really, you know, if you're trying to decide what avenue you want, maybe you're younger, you're just getting out of college, maybe you're graduating high school, or maybe you're just trying to like figure out what you want to do in life. Maybe you're my age, 26, 30, whatever it is. And you're like, dang, like, what do I do? I think look back at the times when you were a kid and kind of understand those things that you were just like naturally drawn to, or even right now what you're naturally drawn to, and then figure out how to make that your full-time thing, because it can work. There's so many people out there that are doing it. Like there are so many people that I've talked to that like go after a different type of job because they think that's a more realistic way to make money than just doing the thing they want. And it's like, it's almost like you're self-sabotaging yourself. It's if you truly are passionate about, you know, creating content and making videos or being creative or whatever it is, you can make that a full-time thing. And honestly, if you went all in on that, it would probably be easier than going and getting a finance job.
Yeah.
Because it would just come effortless to you. Like maybe not early on, especially if you don't have a guidance or like a direction. Like, yeah, you're going to fail a lot. And like there is like clear paths like school and then go get a finance job. It's a little bit more, I think that's why a lot of people go that path, right? Is because it's a little bit more direct. It is like the school is like,
they're so used to it. You grew up with high school, or you grew up with a school teaching you need to go get a job in order to be successful. Bro, when's the last time you went up to a guy that owned a Corvette and he said, I have a job? That's so uncommon.
It really is. Like even, you know, here in Tampa's like a newer city. There's a lot of like newer money here. And yeah, every single person that I know that's, you know, well off, doing well, have nice cars, you know, have freedom, all that stuff. Yeah, they all do.
They all went their own path.
That's number one. They all went their own path, and most of them have leveraged content and personal branding in some extent. There's definitely some people that haven't. I think that's kind of the common element is like obviously went their own path, but then also like created some kind of brand around themselves, because that's one thing that, you know, a lot of people that are watching probably create content for music artists or brands or businesses. And, you know, the one thing you don't get with that when you're creating content for other people is the brand building element for yourself. You're doing it for, you know, the business you're working for, the artist you're working for, or the brand you're working for. But when you can start creating for yourself, you're building this, think about it as like a little snowball on the top of the hill, right?
Yeah.
You push it down, and by the time, like, you know, right at the beginning, it's nothing big. It's not like you're not going to even really notice it. By the time it gets down to the end of the mountain, bro, that shit is unstoppable. You can't stop that thing. Like, it'd take out a house. You know what I mean? Like, if there's nothing in the way, like, early on, like, boom. That's one of the things that I've really now, you know, being full-time in content now for, at least through my own venture, like personal brand and my YouTube and stuff, 5 years.
Dude, that
coming
is
up on
insane.
5 years.
Kudos to you. That is awesome.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's something I've always wanted. I remember like the YouTube plaque as a kid when I first saw that like come online. I was like, I want that. I want that. The thing I've realized is like that's the thing that's just so consistent. It's allowed me to pivot in content a little bit. It's allowed me to have the freedom to travel and do all these things. It's like it all points back to that personal brand thing. If I didn't have that, 100%. I would have so much less freedom in my life. I'd have so much less ability to just express myself and create kind of what I want. Like,
it's funny, dude. I get DMs every single day asking, like, people coming to me asking me if I do client work, if I could work for them. And I've worked for one dude, free gig for 2 weeks, and then I got sick and he paid me $25. It's the most I've ever made off of client work.
That's so funny. You've never done client work. And it's so funny that the path to more clients
is not doing
more client work.
It's doing your own work.
Building your own thing, and then the right people will come. And I've experienced that myself. Like, I've had the opportunity to work with like brands like Adobe and Netflix.
Yeah, that's insane.
And it wasn't because I was working with these huge brands for years and years and years. I actually didn't really work with any brands ever, pretty much. Like here and there, like a little like Cinepacks, like an asset company, very similar to products what I was selling. But mostly like no branded sponsored things or whatever. And I always just said like I just want to work with businesses that I believe in. And it's like I use Adobe. So when they came to me, I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Like this is like they came to me and like they want to work with me. Like this is the software I use. But it wasn't because I was sending out cold emails or I was like, you know, grinding and networking and stuff. It was like I was just creating the stuff that I really liked. I was making a bunch of money, really great money doing that. And then this company that I loved approached me. I was like, it's so eye-opening that, you know, sometimes the clear path to getting what you want isn't so direct. It's more of a long-term game. I think most things in life, delay the instant gratification. Because sure, you could probably go get some brand deals if you just go send out a bunch of emails.
Yeah.
But the second you stop sending out those emails, no more brand deals. But if you use more attract energy where you're building your own thing, there's just... I still to this day get asked to edit music videos. I haven't edited a music video in years. It's crazy. But like just because of the stuff I've put out, they just come to me. And I think that's one real important thing for creatives to note too, is like you're already so great at creating content. It's like, dude, you need to be doing it for yourself. You need to. It's like no longer a question if it does work or if you should. It's like, if you want to be real successful, you need to be creating some kind of content for yourself in some shape or form.
Your Instagram is your portfolio.
Yeah. And no one even wants to work at like, no one even wants to look at like normal portfolio work.
Oh, 100%.
Like some of the best portfolio work is like you yourself in the video and just like talking about you and your mission and what you do and B-roll of you and show like, cause people want like
people hire people.
Yeah. People hire people and people hire people that they trust.
Yeah.
And of course, like if you have really great like portfolio stuff and it's all brand stuff and it looks really great, you can get hired for sure. But if you have that and you're a very charismatic person and you're creating content for yourself and they can see you and they know what you look like and they know how you sound and they've seen you do some BTS stuff, they can just trust you so much quicker.
Oh, by far.
It's insane.
I think it's funny too how people get so scared of going and doing their own thing because of other people's opinion.
Dude, that was me for a while.
Seriously?
Yeah, dude. It never fully stopped me, but it definitely stopped me. Like it like put the brakes on it. Like I was like running against like we were working out the other day. Like I was pushing a sled instead of just sprinting.
Yeah.
Like I was like going against something because, yeah, I mean all throughout high school, like I would like do vlogs and like create content and stuff, but like I was like scared to like promote it or like really even talk about it. And I didn't do it as much because like I knew there was some people in school or whatever that watched it and like thought it was weird or something. So it's something that I struggle with, like being afraid to fully go in and like I was like almost embarrassed in my content early on in life. I think because like I didn't think it was good, but also because like I wasn't like the most like outgoing person. Like it, you know, it might seem now like, you know, I make all this content online and stuff. It's like it
took you a while.
Yeah, it comes pretty natural now. Even still to this day, like some days I'm like, dude, like it's hard to talk to the camera today or it's hard to talk, whatever. Yeah, early on, like I was definitely a super introvert kid, like playing video games. Like, you know, my first 100 videos, I was like still sweating like in my armpits. Like dude, I was like genuinely scared of like creating content, but it was just something I loved so much, and I saw like the potential there that I just had to go after it.
I kind of was different. I was more. I don't want to do what everyone else wants to do. I'm the person that like if I see 100 people go that way, I'm going this way.
Yeah, I think I was like that too, but it was just like
I just don't like doing what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Unless it's like the most optimal way and I actually want the end result. But majority of the time when people are going that way, the better path is to go the other way.
Yeah, there's something that it's like the average person's like in debt, overweight, and divorced. Something like that. I don't know exactly what the quote is, but it's like, yeah, if you want to be average, do what everyone else is doing.
It's so easy not to be average anymore.
But if you want to do your own thing and have an extraordinary life, you have to do extraordinary things, which are no normal things, which will by default put you away from people. Like you will by default, if you do the things that other people don't do, you will kind of be outcast. But, you know, if you look online and you see other people doing the stuff that you want to do and you want to do that, you kind of have to do the opposite of what most people are doing.
And don't be afraid of people looking at you the wrong way. Like my entire family, I was sitting down at a dinner with them and I was trying to explain what I did for a living and how I made all this money because they're all like blue collar workers, and they all looked at me with a blank face and literally thought I was doing something illegal because they didn't understand what I was doing.
I remember one of my friends in high school, one of my high school friends, this was after high school, when I had like one of my digital products, it was like paper effects and stuff. I remember my friend's dad was like asking, he's like, so you sell paper? I was like, well,
You pretty much do.
I was like, kind of,
Yeah.
but like the digital form and like for video editing, he's like, and he just like kind of looked at me and I was like, it's kind of like video editing software. And it was just like, it was like this thing that I just like, I just didn't know how to describe what I was doing.
Yeah.
And he's like, you make good money from that? I was like, yeah, I make pretty good money from that. He's like, good stuff. Like it was like just the most awkward conversation ever, but it was a really eye opening because the times have changed so much in the last even 30 years that it's hard to kind of describe sometimes what you're doing to friends or family members because it's so new and there's so many opportunities that just other people haven't heard of. But I want to say with the whole being afraid of posting stuff, like I was saying, like I was in high school, like afraid to post. One thing that really helped me, because hopefully this will help other people, is like I kind of like put myself in a position after dropping out of college that then I no longer cared. Because I was like, I am either going to create content and make this my full-time thing, or I'm going to end up doing the job I don't like because I don't have a college degree. So I was like, there was no like, it was no longer like, oh, I care what people think. It was like, dude, I am like,
I'm out.
for me, it felt like life or death. It's like I either do this thing that I love for the rest of my life, or be too scared and just go do something I don't like at all for the rest of my life. And that was really, really powerful. Like not having that plan B, not having a backup or whatever.
It's just like the Vikings, man. Like when they invaded enemy territory, they burned their boats, so they had to win. They were either going to die or they were going to slaughter everyone and win.
That's fucking crazy.
I mean, I don't know if I had to do it all over again, I don't know if I would do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure I would probably be here a lot quicker if I did.
Yeah, I mean, like, don't like self-sabotage.
Yeah,
I think the burn the boats is like a very like symbolic. Like, I know they actually did it.
They did it. Yeah,
well, that's crazy.
It's a real thing.
That's insane. I mean, that shit works because like you literally either die or you whatever. But I think a more practical for like viewers watching, like obviously like don't like screw yourself over, but like also, you know, don't give yourself the easy out because there are like a lot of easy outs.
Oh, everything.
I knew. If I graduated college and went, I was like in computer science.
Yep.
If I graduated, I would have got a good job out of school, and I would have made great money. And it's like that right there was the most scary thing ever to me, because I knew that would have stopped me. Most likely from doing what I do now.
I had a really hard conversation with myself when I was working my job. I think actually Alex Hormozy says a quote. He's like, "You're just one hard conversation away from becoming the person you want to become." And so that's what I did. I sat down and I'm like, man, what am I more scared of? I'm more scared of going everywhere else, the thing I hate, but I also am secure, or I actually become the man I want to become. Because at the end of the day, I had no reason not to become successful.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? I have everything in my power to be successful. Like, I'm strong, I'm handsome, I have my 2 legs, I got 2 arms, I got at least a operating brain that has common sense. Like, you don't need to be smart to be making a crap ton of money.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like, when I meet all your friends, they're just normal people.
It's so true. What would you said, like, to be successful, what would you kind of like define success as for you?
See, I think everyone has their own success, and I think that's like a lot of words that people run around these days, like, are so common. You need to just define to yourself, because some people will define success as, oh, I'm just taking care of my family and that's the only thing I care about. Then yeah, you're successful. And I would classify yourself as success too. But for me, it was, I need to become time free, financially free. And I think those were really the only 2 things.
Okay.
Yeah, and location free, obviously.
That one's like not as important to most people, but
I just wanted to do something where I could go and do anything at any time whenever I wanted to do.
Yeah, like true, just ultimate freedom.
Yeah, like overall, and that was my definition of success.
I think that's pretty close to what mine is. I think.
What is yours?
Yeah, just being able to do what you want to do, like on a random Tuesday kind of deal.
Like every day's a Saturday for me.
Like time, location, financial, and then also I think to add that, because there are people that have all 3 of those, but then the little cherry on the top, which is like, this is getting really picky. Like I like being real picky with stuff, but like the creative freedom too.
Oh, 100%.
Like the ability to create the stuff you want, because there's plenty of people out there that like like content creators. No, not to shame anyone or anything, but like have time, location, financial freedom, but maybe they do some unethical things or morally kind of like bad things, whatever that looks like for you. I don't need to talk about any industry, but there's plenty of things that like you can do, make a bunch of money, have time, location, and financial freedom, but you're kind of selling yourself or your soul, or you're not really able to create exactly what you want. And that's something that's super, super important to me. I think the creative freedom might actually be more important than the time or location.
Yeah. It's like freedom of speech.
Yeah, it is freedom of speech to some extent, because you're almost...
That's why I don't do brand deals, dude. I'm like, I want all my freedom. I'm not going to work for you or say certain things for you. I'm not going to sell myself the short stick.
I think that's why I've only worked with very exclusive brands before, is because I wanted to, make sure that I wasn't like selling my image
or selling your soul.
Yeah, I mean, that's it's so loose, but like it's kind of an aggressive term, like sell your soul or whatever. But I do think like if you can't, like, I want to be able to create the content I want and not have to be like, quick interruption for our 1-minute ad read or whatever. And who knows? Like, I don't think that's the end of the world. I think you find the right brands, and who knows? Like, maybe one day I would. Like, I'm not going to shit on anyone that's doing it, but I do really, really love just being able to say what I want. And I think when I worked with those brands like Adobe and Netflix, I was still like, obviously you guys have brand guidelines and stuff, but generally, do I have creative control here? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, okay, cool, we can do it.
Yeah, that's a great partner.
Because it was like, if they're like, make this video, it's like
there's like 18 client revisions. It's like,
yeah, it's just not exactly what I'm looking for.
I'm sorry.
And that probably sounds really picky to the audience, but I think that's the message though that I want to get through, is like, you can have everything. Like you can do it all, but it doesn't come super easy. But it's worth it. I think it's absolutely.
It's 100% worth it. If everyone knew how I feel every single day, I get to wake up whenever I want. I get to do whatever I want. Doesn't mean I slack up every day.
Of course.
I do have days, but majority of the time I work just because it's weird. When you have your own, like when you do your own thing and make your money your own way, your definition of every single day is just to work. Yeah. At least for me, that is.
I think so. Most days I do some shape or form of work, but it's a lot different than I think a lot of people think.
Yeah. And I guarantee that every single person listening to this, if they could feel the way me and you feel every single day when we wake up, having all this freedom, and all they had to do was take one hard step into something that they're scared of and uncomfortable with, they'd do it instantly. Because I know I would if I was watching this and I wasn't where I'm at right now.
No, I think it's important to, look back, because like there was times where to get here, there's a lot of sacrifices. I don't think there always has to be sacrifices, but I remember like I'd wake up super early. I'd go to this beauty care company. I would like film videos and edit stuff and even do like website and Facebook ads and stuff for them. And then I would finish work, go to the gym real quick if I was lucky, if I had time, and then drive to Chicago, like downtown Chicago, like an hour away, and like film some videos, some music videos or like studio session stuff. A lot of times till like 2 or 3 in the morning, kind of like go back and do the same thing. And
wow.
It wasn't all the time, but it was a lot. And like, every once in a while I'll try to squeeze in some content for myself and stuff. And I'm so grateful that for some reason, 18-year-old, 19-year-old version of me was like, yeah, let's just do this, and not, because there's a real reality where like you just go to the job and just like go back and like play games or like
100%.
Go to the bar and drink with your friends and like just don't do that extra little, because it was like in reality it's such a short period of my life. Like that sacrifice I made was like a glimpse. Like it's sometimes I forget about it, but it is important to remind yourself that. And I think it's also important if you're in that position where maybe you feel like you might have to make the sacrifice, like go in for that. Like, because
I might be a psychopath, but I love the hard times. Like those are the most times where I'm like, this is a good day. Like I smile so much when I'm having a hard time. I don't know why. I might be a psychopath.
I can kind of see what you're saying. I don't know if I fully relate, but I think there was times where I was like,
that's the time where I'm like, I'm living.
I was like romanticizing the grind to some extent. Like, I was like, after like I'd get home at 3 and I'd be like, yeah, dude, that was a fucking day.
Yeah.
And then I would wake up at like, 7 o'clock the next morning and be like, dude, what the fuck? Why did I do that? So
it's the most interesting time too. Like when you watch a movie, 90% of the movie is the hero failing. And then the end of it is him winning. Rocky knocks the guy out. He goes like this, and then the movie like ends.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, I think you need to go through that
suffering.
Season.
I mean, even if you would classify it as a suffering, I mean,
yes,
we're very fortunate that we didn't have to live on what some people have to go through each and every single day. Like we don't have to worry about if we're gonna wake up tomorrow and have food on the table or die. Yeah. Like, there's some people literally out there. I pray for them that never have to see that light ever again.
Yeah, it's so crazy. It feels like to some extent not going after your dreams is kind of like doing your ancestors a disservice, because we live in we live in an era where it's so easy. Like most people that are watching this, you probably couldn't really die even if you tried. Like most people have like some friend or family that if you lost your job, you'd at least be able to crash on the couch or on the floor or something for a while while you got off your foot. So it's like, because of that, you can take the risk, move to the city, or go and just go all in content. Like I think it's, I was in a really fortunate spot. Mom was a lot, like after I dropped out of college, let me stay.
She's a lovely woman.
She's amazing. She let me stay in my childhood bedroom for indefinite period of time while I tried to figure it out. And I know not everyone has that, but I think most people have at least some kind of safety net where you're not going to end up like really, really screwed over, especially if you're watching this. Especially, I think if you have access to the internet and you're watching this deep in a podcast, you're probably able to take a risk, a calculated risk.
100%.
And I think you should.
Like, yeah, if you're living at home and you don't have to ever worry about really like a lot of bills,
dude,
and you have like $5K in the bank,
yeah,
take a shot on yourself, man. I don't know, what's the $5K doing then? Is this gonna sit there?
Yeah, because there's so much more upside too. Like,
oh, you have everything to win, or you have everything to gain but nothing to lose. That's
really,
it's like so dangerous.
That's like, dude,
that's dangerous.
Oh, dude, it's dangerous. That's how people come out of nowhere and just crush.
Oh, 100%.
Like, now after you kind of have a little bit of momentum and stuff, it's like, oh shit, like I have stuff to lose now. But early on, like I remember I lived in the Hollywood Hills for a little bit with like it was like 5 other dudes.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I literally like every single night would blow. It was a living room, right? So it was like I mean, not much bigger than the room we're in now. I know you can't all see it on camera right now, but really not much bigger than maybe my kitchen and living room together. But we all had our desks set up. So there was 5 desks set up in this room. There was a bed that would come out of the wall, like the ones that like kind of like came down. And then there was a couch. And then the other 3 of us would blow up air mattresses. So like this room was like our living room, our office, our bedroom.
Oh my God.
Our kitchen.
Sounds like it stank.
Luckily, honestly, dude, it was a sick location to do it. Beautiful Hollywood Hills, amazing view. You open the door, you literally see downtown LA.
That's
so
sick.
like you could air it out. It didn't stink that bad, but it's like those times are like so fun, and like that was a risk I took. Like I just like was like I'm just gonna drive.
I bet you learned so much.
Gonna drive to LA, dude. That was the best time ever. Like I learned so much. I met so many people. I pushed myself out of my comfort zone. Of course, it was a risk, but like really, the end of the day was like I go back and like maybe stay at my mom's and just get a normal job for a little bit and then move out eventually. Like there wasn't really much risk there.
And the real worst case scenario is you die. That is in reality, that's a worst case scenario.
It's worse, but like I just don't know if it's realistic.
Yeah, that is very true.
But then if you die, and you're already dead, so what does it matter?
Exactly.
That's so funny. I do think like, fear. Honestly, that's the thing that school, and I think I'm lucky that I was good in school, but like didn't really like follow too strictly. Is like they taught you like failure's bad because like if you get something wrong in the test, you get a bad grade, and that's.
But what is the definition of failure?
Well, I think in school you're kind of trained that if you make a mistake, it's a failure.
Yeah, and
because that's directly what the F on the test says.
But in
failure.
reality, it's not failure. I mean, to me, failure. The definition of failure is when you quit. If you quit doing something, you gave up / you failed.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think most people feel like failure is when they make a mistake because you're kind of trained like that. So
you're learning. Mistake is definition by you learn something. So in return, you are actually gaining something. So you're succeeding and winning.
Yeah, I 1000% agree with that.
It's so sad of like what the school system and everything is implanting into young children these days.
I feel that to some extent, but I'm also like not like super anti-school.
I
think school is like I think it's very good, but I think it's also
I think it teaches you not to be like it.
Yeah, I think it's very important to understand the shortcomings of school because there's a lot that school does really, really great, but it's important to understand the shortcomings because for the longest time I was like, dang, if I make a mistake, like that's really bad. But nowadays I'm like, I make mistakes, dude. I make more mistakes today every single day than I made back in the day. And I learned just so much quicker. I just realized that it's no big deal. Like I'm at the point now where I mentioned earlier, I'm, literally in 13 days, I am packing up my
beautiful apartment.
But yeah, it is a beautiful apartment. I'm going to miss it, but packing up my apartment and I just don't have a plan.
And that's totally okay.
Dude, yes. But that would have scared the shit out of me even just a few years ago. And, luckily I'm in a spot now where, I can do my job anywhere and I do have a lot more luxuries, but it's something that I'm like, I'm just going to kind of like fail a little bit. Like just like go try places and see if I like them, see if I don't, and just explore.
I'm excited for you, bro.
Thank you.
It's going to be so fun watching this journey.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited to vlog it. I'm going to vlog it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll be watching every single one.
Yeah. So the plan right now is pack up the apartment. Actually, today, before you came over, booked a cabin in Tennessee.
No way.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited. Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm gonna road trip up back to Chicago.
Okay.
So we're in Tampa right now. I'm gonna be driving north. So I think Tennessee's like kind of like roughly halfway. So we'll do. I think I booked a 5-day stay out there. Do at least that. See if we want to extend it or whatever. But yeah, I got a really cool spot. I'm excited to show everyone and.
Dude, I'm excited to see it.
I might have to do like no phone for 3 days. I'm kind of feeling like a hippie mode where like I maybe like
Brian hippie phase.
Yeah, just like take off my phone just for like 3 days.
You can become Jesus with the long hair.
No.
Got the fish flip flops.
I do have some Birks out there.
Yeah.
Not the open ones, but yeah, I think just going and exploring is so important. Being the scientist in your life, exploring and testing your, a lot of us know it from the school. Something the school did really well, the scientific method. Hypothesis. You have your hypothesis, you take an educated guess and then you go test it.
That's the definition of life.
Yeah, that's how you learn.
But that's like the only thing you usually use majority of the time. All the other bullshit they teach you in school you don't use. It's sad. Majority of it, at least. I mean, you still use addition and subtraction because you're making bank, so you gotta know how to use numbers. I got some questions.
Yeah. Dang, you prepared some questions. I love this.
Dude, I'm on Brian's podcast and I'm asking him questions.
Let's do it.
What advice would you give to your younger self when you started your entrepreneur journey?
That's a tough one.
We can edit so you got all day to think.
No, I like the pause just because I think the answer it'll make sense for the pause. I don't really think too much. Maybe just like you're gonna figure it out. Like I wouldn't like direct him one way or the other because I think that's like where like we were talking, like the failure is like where you learn and you actually get the experience. So if I gave him shortcuts early on, he wouldn't be at the spot he's at now. And I'm gonna fail a whole bunch more times and I still have no fucking clue what I'm doing. I think that's really important to be able to say out loud. A lot of people like pretend like they got everything figured out or whatever.
Yeah, I definitely don't have anything.
Dude, I will never have everything figured out.
No.
I can guarantee you that.
I guarantee you that the millionaire that you see the Corvette in he is as clueless as the guy that is making hot dogs.
Yeah, everyone always goes through the same problem. So yeah, honestly, dude, like I would just reassure him that like you're gonna figure everything out. Like it's gonna be fine. Like don't stress so much day to day. What about you?
I think there's a lot of things I would say, but the one thing I would just say is just keep going and never give up.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that like really just pushed me because I knew at the end of the day, like you said, what's the worst case scenario? I die? Okay. Then I know I won't even remember it. So it's like, might as well fucking do it.
True. Yeah. I love this. People on the pod are gonna be like, yeah, so we're watching this creative pod and they're just saying like, I should just go for it or I'm going to die.
I think about death a lot though. I think that's something that everyone should really think about because it is something that will happen. So instead of being scared of it, just accept it. Use that as fuel.
I couldn't agree more. I think, yeah, using it as fuel because it's like.
What's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to walk up to the girl and she's going to reject you? Okay, so what?
Yeah.
You're not dead.
Yeah.
You learned. So you just gained everything right there.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that honestly kind of fueled the whole after this apartment because Tampa's amazing, dude. It's such a great city. But I want to travel. And like I think the whole like death thing and like, you know, just going after what you want and exploring, like I can always come back here. Like you know what I mean? Like I might like I'm gonna go on a little travel stint and just pack my stuff up and like, travel. But maybe I end up here, maybe I don't end up here. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that kind of like sparked me to like, okay, I've been wanting to travel for a while. Last time when my lease ended, I didn't do it. I kind of did a little bit, but then I quickly got a lease. And like, this is the time to do it.
You're gonna crush it, man. The thing I actually just journaled about today using your pen, which is an absolutely beautiful pen. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
Was I don't think people actually really know what they want. Like in reality, if you went into a smoothie shop and you're like, okay, I've had this one smoothie about 100 times. I'm going to pick that because that's what I want. How do you really know what you want if you haven't tried all the other smoothies 1,000 times or 100 times? Like in reality, you really don't know if like your life partner, the one you've been with for 20 years, is the only one you've been with, is the one you actually really want. So that's like the same thing with like traveling. Like you told me when I came here, I'm like, dude, I kind of want to move here like now.
Yeah.
I was looking at apartments actually. And then you're like, no, go explore. And then that kind of like popped in my head. And I'm like, he's totally right. I need to explore all options before I can actually even commit to something I actually want.
I think this is also one of the times where like the saying like ignorance is bliss also comes into play. Cause like say you like,
I've never heard that before.
So like say you've only ever lived one spot and you just love it. If you don't go anywhere else,
you have nothing to
compare it to.
Yeah.
So you just love it. But I've kind of like broken the seal. Like I've traveled a lot and I'm like, oh, I know there's other stuff out there that I want to go and explore. So yeah, it's like I've tried a few smoothies on the smoothie menu and it's like, I know there's some better ones.
Yeah.
But it's funny because like actually with food and stuff, if I go to a restaurant, it's banging.
Oh,
sometimes I'm just like, nah, I don't need to know anything more. I'm just going to be ignorant and it's going to be blissful because I want that smoothie or I want that steak. But yeah, no, I think that's absolutely true. And the hard thing is though, at the end of the day, I think if you fast forward, 30 years or so, and you've only stayed in that one spot, there might be an opportunity of being like, well, why didn't I go? Why didn't I go after, maybe you love your job right now, but like you do like creating and you're like, you know what? I actually really like I don't want to go for it. I just feel like there would have been a part of me that's like 30 years down the road, be like, well, why didn't you just at least try?
I think it's so sad to see people play GTA 5 10, 20 hours a day for a whole week straight, grinding, trying to level up their character. They won't even give that commitment to themselves. And then they complain about it to me, or they complain about you or everyone else saying, well, why can't I get better? Why can't my life change? And then they just blame it on everything else. It's like you give so much commitment to a video game when you're playing the real game that it'll give you 100 times more return.
Yeah.
If you just show a little bit of focus.
Dude, games is one of the things that
I actually learned a lot from wasting that much years of my life.
I learned so much because games is a huge part of my life. Like, I think like up until fairly recently, like it was a majority of my life.
I recommend everyone not to play video games though.
I don't know.
It's such a big waste of time.
I think early on in life, I think there's some skills to be learned. I think it's important not to keep going though. I don't know though.
Well,
also, do what you want though. That's the thing. Like, I'm not like here to like tell you to not play games. Games are so fun. I love games. I'll probably play games sometime in the future again. I just feel like I got past, like, I learned all the things I needed to learn. I had a lot of fun in games, and I felt like it crossed over into me no longer learning, me no longer really enjoying it. It was just something that was kind of consuming a lot of my life. And they're like very similar to like the GTA 5 analogy, is like there were some games that I would play that I would like got so good at, and like I was like, you know, just crushing in the game, and I'm like, why don't I just apply this concept to my life? Like, why do I spend 8-10 hours here?
That's what I was thinking too.
When I can just do 8-10 hours in my real life. But I think without the games, I wouldn't have had that shift. So like, they're not a bad thing. I just think they're a bad thing if you want something else and you're not doing it. Like, you're like, I want a really cool life and I want to be able to create full time and do all this stuff. But then you go spend, 8 hours.
Yeah, it's
GTA
like your
6,
goals,
like,
man.
Yeah.
If you're so sad and depressed of your life, and then you just like, oh, I don't have my life, so I'm just gonna go play video games. It's like, you haven't even tried, bro.
Yeah, dude. Video games were an interesting period of my life because I really enjoyed video games, but I was also like really like, I think I went through a pretty depressive state when I was playing like games a lot and stuff.
Yeah, I did too, because I would come home after school and I would only think about video games, and I would go and play video games, and all the rest of my life would just suck. So it was more of an escape for me.
Yeah.
Because I could just go into somewhere where I was playing a dude that was jacked, I had a lot of money, and I could just control it. And it's like, such a great escape, and that's exactly what they're designed for. But in reality, dude, you're just going to kill yourself in the end.
What was your game of choice?
Dude, I played so much. I played for like 18 years straight. I stopped when I was like 18 or 17 years old. I think it was just like majority of the time killing games.
Yeah. Like, which ones?
I think the one game that really resonated with me was For Honor. I just loved the whole concept of you actually needed to be skilled in order to play the game.
I mean, I played so many games, but I think my biggest game that I really got into was CSGO. I probably sank 5K hours into that game.
Dude, that's insane. I never got that much.
I like went to like real
it's like no
competition.
life shit.
Oh, dude, there was a period of time where it was literally...
Unless you're making money, and then that's completely fine. Like, Ninja makes millions of dollars. If you guys don't know who Ninja is, he's like a huge streamer. He has like blue hair. That's what he's known for. And he plays like Fortnite, if you guys know that game. I'm sure everyone knows
Ninja for sure. Ninja's massive, bro.
There's no problem with making money off of it. That's your full-time income. That's like your passion. Well, even like your passion. I don't even really think you need to be passionate about something in order to make a lot of money. I'm sure the guy that owns the hugest cement company in China doesn't every night stroke a piece of cement in his bed saying "my precious."
Well, the thing that's interesting about this is what was interesting about the concept of like going pro in sports or even in video games for me is like, I think it's realistic for people, but I think if you don't do it, most of the time you're kind of left with like some transferable skills for sure, but nothing really to show. Like, I was really good at CSGO, like to the point where like I went to competitions and like did well, and like I was like in like this like thing called ESEA, and like there was like different divisions, like the one under pro, and I was close.
Oh, you got that close?
I was close.
Wow.
One season, we like...
Dude, you would have got there.
I think if I dedicated more, but I was close, but because I wasn't there, I have like pretty much nothing to show for it. And I think that's a very, very similar thing with like if you want to go like pro in basketball or football, but I think with content and with entrepreneurship and business and personal branding, if you don't go pro in the sense of like you're not number one, dude, there's still room for you at 999.
Dude,
and you can like live off it and still and you can continue to play that game forever. There's a period where maybe if you're not going pro in a video game or sports, you kind of have to hang up the cleats. Like, you're like, I can't sustain myself doing this. And that's something that I thought about a lot because I really like baseball and stuff. But I was never like, I want to go pro in baseball. Like, I was like, I quite frankly wasn't good enough, first and foremost. But I also was like never like had the ambition to do it because that's what I saw. I saw like the end route. It's like you have to put in a whole bunch of work, and if you don't make it work, it's like it's kind of gambling on like you going. But like entrepreneurship, business, content creation, and stuff isn't that. because you can be there's so many different levels to the game that if you don't like become the next fucking Mr. Beast,
yeah,
you're still fine.
Dude, I have 5,000 followers currently on Instagram and 7,000 on YouTube. And I make a full-time living off of this.
And
easily.
How much money have you made this month so far? We're 14 days into the month?
Yeah, we're on 14. I made 7K.
That's amazing.
It's insane.
So you literally have, in the grand scheme of things, a very, very small following. You have a very great, substantial, targeted following. But like, if we're comparing like, Mr. Beast, the MLB player, to you, you're literally a fucking...
I'm the guy that polishes his bats.
You're like a high school senior that's like on the bench or something. Yes. But
polishing his cleats.
It still allowed you to go full time and be able to live.
Oh, 100%.
But like that high school senior is like fucking like he's got to figure it out. He's either got to try to go pro, like you know what I mean. Like so that's so crazy.
I think that's what people are more scared of too, is they think like, oh, if I'm gonna do this, I gotta go viral. I gotta pull in crazy amount of views. It's like reality, dude. My top video is like 80K. That's not a lot of views to be in reality. There
was a comment I got recently, and I normally don't like get affected by comments, but I was showing people like the whole like digital product, personal branding journey and stuff. And this guy commented, he's like, you forgot, it was something like, you forgot to mention the first tip is start with a following. And I was like, well, first and foremost, how do you start with a following?
Yeah, I didn't. I had 0. But I didn't even know how to.
But wait. I hear people say this online all the time. How do you start with a following? Because to get started, you inherently have to have 0. So it's like
a video game. You start with nothing.
And that's one thing that, when I give advice now, it's like, I love having people on like you, because now over the years I've, grown my following and got paid all throughout the journey. But now it's easy for the beginner to look at me and be like, you have 170,000 subscribers on YouTube. Of course you make money.
Yeah.
But it's like they didn't see me when I had 4,000 and I still made really great money.
Yeah, you were making insane money.
So that's the hardest part right now for my job is helping inspire people that are just getting started, because it's easy to point the finger and be like, you got a big following, of course you make money. But it's really cool to have you on and see, we've done some videos before.
Let haters hate, man.
I'll have them linked in the description, more breakdown stuff. But basically, over the last year, you've gone from making $0 off content creation to now this month is your biggest month so far at 7K so far. This month, 14 days in.
Yep.
Last month was 5,500 for the whole month.
The whole month.
So this month you're on track to
14.
Pretty much 3x it.
Yeah.
14K
if it does the same thing.
14, 15K. So like 3x where you were from last month. So
and the stress levels are completely different in the game. Like yesterday I made $500. Today I made $40. The stress level, I mean, if you even define that as stressful, like in reality, is that really stressful? Like I like to humble myself with that stuff.
So you feel like you had a lot of stress today because you didn't you didn't have as many sales or whatever.
I did at first, but then I kind of talked to myself. I'm like, is this really stressful? Like, what's the worst case scenario? I like to always do that to myself because it's just something you should do, because then it really humbles in yourself and you're like, okay, I actually got a good life. Because you're going to have the up and down days, like the stock market. Have you ever seen the stock market stay still? I haven't. I haven't in my entire life. Yeah. It's just up and down. They're going to have bad days. You're going to have crashes. You're going to have a depression. And then it's going to go all the way back up. It's going to crash again. And it's going to go all the way back up.
No, that's one thing too. Like if you're, thinking about getting started, like you're start first and foremost, but you're in for a journey, because it's something that once you commit to the content, the entrepreneur, whatever journey you go down, like regardless of how well you're doing, there's always going to be that doubt in the back of your head. I don't think it goes away. At least it hasn't for me. And I've been doing it for now 5 years. There's days where I'm like the, early on with my Shopify, not even early on, like, late into the game, $0 in sales for a day. Mm-hmm. And like the day before was like 1,000 or something. And I'm like, is my business crashing? Like, is everything going wrong right now?
Yeah. I feel
like
that too.
You get in your head so much, and it's like it's
when you start doing the worst case scenario stuff, like Torsten Rosgo.
like Brian Delmata too. But I think that's the thing, like even, people that can relate, like doing client work and then they lose a client. Like, dude, what the fuck? I just like work so hard to get that client. But I will say the one thing about the personal brand digital product space is it is, from what I've had like ever through content creation, the most consistent. There are still those days where you feel like everything's going to crash down and burn, but it's just been so consistent for me. It's insane.
Same.
Once you have had consistent.
I have a
growth.
very consistent growth. It's just gradually climbing. Like not today, but this month has been like the hugest I've ever seen my arrow spike upward.
Well, that's what I tell everyone too.
Everyone thinks so, that it's like a snap of a finger, you'll get it.
Yeah. Going into content is betting on yourself, playing the long game. It's this for months, maybe even years. And then out of nowhere, it's like this.
Yeah. Like for you, it was longer than that. It was like 2-3 years.
Bro, I mean, it really depends on when you classify when I started.
Yeah.
The first YouTube video I posted was probably like 2012. I have a video on my channel. I've had multiple channels before this. I have one unlisted on this channel, I think in 2013. I'm pretty sure I was posting for a year or two before that, but let's just even say 2013. Yeah, the first time I really made any like substantial money was 2021. So even that right there is 8 years of trying to post something. Now, I was a lot younger. I wasn't consistent. So let's say I probably started like trying, like officially, I would say I started trying maybe 2018. So that's still a 3-year gap. And then like if you really like dial in, like I went hard at the end of 2020. It's hard to exact classify the day I started.
Yeah.
But it's been something I've been going after for a very, very long time. And even with you, dude, like you were saying you were creating content, documenting and like just recording stuff as a young kid, trying to sell stuff. I know it's not necessarily online and YouTube, but like you were doing the skills that led to where you are now for a very long time, well before you like went all in.
You can really see it in people though too. Like yesterday, our bodyguard / video or cameraman.
We had a jacked videographer follow us around.
Yeah, and
shout out Rocco.
And that man was a G. Like, yeah, I could tell just from the way he talked, the way he moved himself, the way he communicated with people. Like that man's gonna go far just because. Like he's so open to learning. He's so open to getting in front of people and talking to them instead of just being arrogant and saying like, oh, I know what I'm doing. It's like, bro.
Do you think that everyone could be successful online?
Oh, 100%, dude. Everyone can be jacked. That's all you got to do is watch what you eat. Watch what you put in your mouth. Is that so hard to ask, dummy?
Now, what about, so jacked, but what about like successful online with content?
Yeah, I think it's
the same
thing. It's the same thing. All you have to do is genuinely try. I think majority of people don't even try these days. Really, what is the definition of trying? It's like trying to do all of your best and learn on mistakes and just keep trying until eventually it works. And then once you figure out how it works, then just duplicate it and keep doing it.
It's just like the endless pursuit of getting better is trying, I think.
And the minute that you are comfortable is the minute that you're going to start declining. I've really realized that.
I've gone through that for sure.
Oh, for sure.
I've gone through that a lot. Yeah, no, that's like one of the talking to, struggles with, the content, the journey you guys, maybe some of you guys are going on, maybe some of you guys will go on. Yeah, there becomes a period where if you have been putting in the work for a while, it gets pretty easy. Like my day-to-day, like if I don't really want to do anything, I don't have to. Mm-hmm. So, there was a period where I really struggled with the discipline aspect. Like actually like
I did too a lot.
Wanting to go and do something because I got all that I asked for. I had the time, location, financial, and creative freedom. But it's like, okay, well, to keep that, you do have to continue to do something.
Yeah.
And also, I think there's this misconception of a lot of people like want to retire or quit. I think if you didn't do anything for a few weeks straight, like truly nothing, you would want another job. You would just want the thing that you actually enjoy.
That's the one thing I don't want to do is like retire.
Yeah, I think I'll be making some kind of content, whatever that looks like in fucking 30, 40 years. Probably till the day I really enjoy documenting my life and recording and sharing knowledge and wisdom and just having conversations and stuff. I think I'll be doing that to some extent forever. I don't know what it's going to look like. And there was actually a video that I watched on my YouTube. It's so cool. I think, honestly, one of the coolest things about content is being able to go back and watch your old stuff, because I watched a video.
Yes.
It was a vlog of mine, and it was like right before I released Shake Sauce. It's like one of my digital products for After Effects. And I was just talking about the idea of like, I don't know what I'm going to be doing in 5 years, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be exactly what I'm right now. And then I was like watching that here in Tampa, no longer doing music video tutorials as much, like kind of switched up exactly. And I was like, wow, like that was like really like insightful that I was able to think that then. And it was just really cool to see, because I was like talking about like I was like investing in this thing. It was Shake Sauce. I was paying a developer, and I like had like these cool ideas. It's so cool to look back on, because at the end of the day, like maybe like one day you compile all that and you like make a little mini movie of yourself and you can watch your life go by.
I'm so glad I documented, man.
Yeah. No, do you literally have videos of like you like crying on like a forklift?
Yes, I do. I have videos of me crying, frustrated, waking up at 4 a.m., getting ready to go to work. Dude, I have so many videos. My work, everything.
I'm not someone that like regrets anything, but if I were to wish I did something different, it would be document more. I think, you know, you're a little younger, you're 21. I think the newer generation gets that. Like you had the hindsight to like record yourself crying at the forklift job. And I have like friends that like recorded themselves like working at Walmart saying like, I'm not going to be working here in a year. And it's like the content game and like mindset has shifted so much. Cause like I wasn't thinking that when I had my shitty jobs. I was just like, I hate this, dude. Get me out of here. Like I wasn't like thinking like, let me pull out my phone and document this. Yeah. But it's so cool to see that now, like, you know, there's going to be literally, this is something that's like kind of a crazy concept is I think there's going to be people that are going to really be able to like have like their whole life pretty much documented. Like I think it's only like the, you know, they have the meta glasses now. Like a lot of people's elements of their life are going to be like fully documented. Like that's going to be cool. Like documentaries and like, I mean, documentaries now are like getting so much better because there's just so much footage. Like I think when I was a kid watching documentaries, it'd be like, you know, a photo with a fucking Ken Burns effect. Like it was just like zooming in on the photo and like they would just be talking. It would be the next photo. Yeah. Now it's like there's like whole ass like, you know, hour long, like hours and hours of just,
my camera turned off. It looked like it. I think we're the SSD. I was gonna say something before we wrap it up.
Yeah, we're good. But yeah, no, there's literally like hours of just like unseen footage that like, you know, I know people personally that are like documenting their life in the ambition of making it into a movie or a film at some point, which is really, really cool.
I think if whoever's watching this, if you're trying to figure out like what you want to do in life or just anything and like what I actually want to do, first define what you actually don't want to do, because it's so much easier. That's what I did. Define what you don't want, because it's so much easier than trying to figure out what you want. And by making a list of all the things you don't want, you'll narrow it down so small that you'll figure out exactly what you want.
Dude, that is really, really great advice. I think that's something that I kind of subconsciously did. But if I had that piece of advice, I probably would have been able to do it a lot quicker. Self-reflecting
is a big one too.
Yeah.
I had to do that a lot with mine because I had a lot of like, I wouldn't say anger issues, but I would get like super frustrated easily. And so a lot of self-reflection, I know that's kind of like, some people are like, that's corny, but in reality, if you want to actually be a man that controls his emotions,
yeah,
you sit down with a pen and paper, list out all the things that you're not happy with today, figure out why you're feeling that way, and just become a stoic, man. Stoicism, I really love stoicism.
You're reading.
I can talk about it all day, man.
Meditations, right?
Yeah, I'm reading Meditations by Marcus Aurelius.
This is a deep cut, bro. I think a lot of I love the people that are actually at the end of this is great, because I think we've definitely talked a lot about creative stuff, but a lot of entrepreneur stuff. So I think it's really cool to, you know, see people.
I think entrepreneur is not just what you do; it's also a lot of big about your life, how you handle yourself, how you walk, how you talk, every single thing. Because at the end of the day, I mean, you're your brand if you're running a personal brand. So you have to become that guy that can do not everything, but you have to become that person that's in front of the camera and also out from the camera.
Dude, it's a challenging job. It's simple, but it is challenging. There's a lot of you have to be willing to learn a lot, I think, is the biggest thing. Yeah, the whole thing you said about...
I'm still learning, too. I definitely don't know everything.
Oh, bro, I told you in the car the other day, like, I learn until I die. I think there's no way I could possibly learn everything.
The minute you stop learning is the minute you pretty much are dying.
Yeah. No, but the whole thing you said about cutting out was really, really crazy, because I think, weirdly enough, when I went to school, I cut out videography and, like, creative stuff, and I just felt so empty.
Yeah.
And then I realized... that's not what I want. I don't want the lack of creativity in my life. But then I started doing all these different projects, like working for companies and shooting music videos and client work and all this stuff. And I was like, this is like kind of it, but like this isn't what I want. And I was like, okay. Then someone like, you know, I film a video. They text me the same night. Hey, when's it going to be done? I send them it over the next morning. It's like, hey, can you change this? Okay. It's like, okay, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be treated like I have to have a video done. And like, over time, I kind of came down to where naturally down my path of narrowing it down was like, I want to create content. I want to sell digital products. That was what the conclusion I came to, because I slowly removed all the things I didn't want. I went and filmed for someone. it was super fun. I enjoyed talking with them, but then maybe they were a pain in the ass with revisions.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want revisions.
Definitely don't want to work with him anymore.
Yeah. And then just over time, it just came down to the point where I was like, okay.
I think the easy path is the hard path. Because if you do the hard path, everything will come.
Yeah.
But if you try to take the shortcut, you're going to be short.
I think that's most things in life, though. If you do the quick, immediate thing, it's going to feel good. If you do the long, delayed gratification thing, it's going to be hard, but feel good in the long run.
I think that's advice is super good for a lot of things, but it's also super bad for a lot of things also.
Like what?
I don't really think about retirement. So I don't really think about saving a ton of money or investing a ton. I just think about, it makes more sense for me to buy something that I actually want right now. If I can afford it reasonably, then when I'm 60, because no one's going to care if I own a Corvette when I'm 60. No one looks at you and is like, oh, okay. Everyone cares about the young guy getting out of the car with 2 babes.
But do you care about what people care about?
Yeah, that's another question I kind of had. I don't know.
This is a really philosophical podcast. I love this.
I think it does affect me. It's just like your environment. I think it does subconsciously affect you, even if you're not thinking about it. Yeah, I do think it affects me still.
Of course, I think
not nearly as much though. I just have conversations with myself dude, I talk to myself. Some people say I'm weird, but I'm just a guy.
Yeah.
I'm just a normal dude.
Torsten Roscoe. I'm just a guy. Dude, well,
I should be on my stone when I die.
I think that's beautiful. Well, dude, I think let's wrap it up here. This has been an amazing pod. I appreciate you coming on. I'll have all Torsten stuff linked in the description. Go check out his YouTube, his Instagram, his store.
Go check out the video of Brian breaking down all the steps that we took together to get to me where I'm at right now.
That's actually a banger video. Literally, I broke down the video where he went from basically how we went from $0 to $5,500 a month. And in that video, I was like, and this is how we're going to get to 10K. And that was posted a few days ago and recorded a few days ago. Yeah. And now this month is going to be the month. In the video, I was like, yeah, it's probably going to happen in the next few months. And you literally went from last month and it's going to happen this month. So, dude, super proud of you. Congrats on all the success. It's cool to see the journey go through. Definitely go watch those videos.
This man's a life changer,
and we'll
his living proof of work.
And we'll catch you guys in the next podcast. Could be a fucking year from now.
You never know.
Peace.